red button. All right, we're on. We're live.
Red button 2.9, episode 2.9, Misguided Fishing. Probably the first day we've all been off all year together. Yeah. I mean, middle of the day.
Together, yes.
It's that time of year.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, Dave, and Dave's been, on tour and away.
This is
not really.
He was. Where was he last? We had Keith last week, and Dave was
with somewhere. Nobody knows.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We
I don't
never
even know where I was.
Sausages,
nuns, and
the queen. I think.
No,
Maybe it was.
I was in Ocracoke
Tonight or this week.
It makes sense now.
Dave was the last minute. He came back. I didn't think we were going to have him today. He was supposed to be on his all-male swingers retreat this week.
He got canceled.
Weather?
Yeah.
It's cold.
It's too cold out there for that.
Yeah, shrinkage.
Not a lot of swinging going on.
Yeah. Yep, I was in the pool.
But seriously, it's fall. Weather's turning. All of a sudden, it went from 75 yesterday to 55 today, blowing 20.
It's activity season.
I knew he was going to do that.
And I have no interest in going fishing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, me neither. Not today.
There's not many guys softer than me.
We've been having some good fishing though. I've been having fun actually.
Tunas came back for you?
Yeah. We've been catching some tunas. Caught a limited dolphin the other day. Caught a wahoo. Caught a king. King Mac.
Delicious.
Limited dolphin.
Yeah.
Is that like a floating structure surprise?
It was grass.
Nice.
Yep. Kind of not very good looking grass, and we pulled up to some not very good looking grass, and a giant school jumped us, and we caught him.
What do you mean not good looking grass?
It was just it was a little patch about this big around with some sprinkle stuff around it, and there was really nice looking habitat outside of us that the other boats were on, and I saw birds, and I caught tunas just before on birds with the birds on them, so I figured it was tuna. So I drug in there, and then I saw a grave digger. A grave digger is what our term for a mahi when we see them jump.
Jumps. Oh, nice.
When we see them jump, we call them a grave digger.
Why?
Because it's like
you got them then.
You're gonna die. We know you're there. You're showing yourself. You're digging your own grave. And
that makes sense.
Yeah, I saw a grave digger, and then they just jumped us, and we caught him, and then I called another boat to me, and he caught a limit as well.
Damn.
Were you shagging grass?
There was a little bit of shagging grass, but not major shagging.
What do you do when you're shagging grass? You don't do anything, do you?
I shag.
It depends on how over it he is at that point of the day.
A lot of times, like I'll fish sometimes with people, and they'll be like, Jack, you got grass. There's grass on your. But a lot of times I know that the grass is about to end, so I'll leave the grass on my rig until I get through the grass, and then I only have to shag them one time, rather than. That's the job for the mate. The mate has to go rod to rod downstairs.
And do you ever feel bad for him?
No, because I did it. When I was
part of the program.
When I was a mate,
Heartless.
I could not stand grass on my hooks. Like I would shag and shag and shag and shag and shag, just go hard all day long because I couldn't stand if anything had a piece of grass on it. It would make me.
0% chance it's going to get eaten.
0% chance it's going to get eaten. No, there is no 0% chances in fishing. There is. I would imagine. It's probably been eaten before with grass on it, but not very. Usually,
I know a trout won't touch a jig with a piece of grass on it.
Yeah, very rarely, but that we know of. I mean, I don't know. Maybe did you hook one time and it had a piece of grass on it? And
maybe
you didn't know.
But a red will, I guess, because we throw that bait out there and all that grass when we're bait fishing for reds, and
yeah,
they're just loaded with grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come in and the red's got grass in his mouth.
And if you think about it, that piece of bait.
I said trout.
I'm not talking about trout. No, I can talk about trout. There's two species we're not allowed to talk about tonight. You can't even bring them up, so I'm not going to.
Trout.
Yeah.
Not trout. Not talking about them.
No, I'd love to talk about trout. It's surf fishing season. It's my
the only time it's
year.
actually
We can
fun.
talk about trout. We can't talk about the other two. I told Jack when I was pooping on the toilet that these are two things we can't talk about tonight or today. It's a daytime podcast. Which brings us, why isn't Dave drinking? Is it because it's daytime?
He was just an Ocracoke.
I'm not that heavy of a drinker. You think I'm just going to be drinking at all hours of the day, night?
Did you see that pregnant pause?
Well, I mean, but you're missing a good opportunity today. I will say that.
Blowing 20.
I don't drink at 2:00 in the afternoon on Tuesdays.
God, that's used to be one of my favorite times to drink. 10 in the morning on a Tuesday. 10 to 2 shift is was a good drinking shift. And then you laid down and got your little nap from 2 to about 6.
Yep. That's what happened before our last show.
Going miserable memories. Bluefinning in the winter in Hatteras. Going down there, had to give up here, get up in the morning, drive down there, and we got down there and we got blown out. So I went to take my ice back and put my ice back in the freezer. And the fucking dudes are in there drinking. The mates. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Well, you've already been up for 5 hours. It might as well be noon.
Sitting in the freezer, the ice room, with a fifth of whiskey.
Oh, I used to love the blow day, the summertime blow day that you didn't think you were going to get, and you've been going hard for weeks. And then all the boys, you all go to San Bonomi's. There's nothing better than a big frosty IPA with some corned beef hash. I mean, and it's very, very English, right? But that IPA with a corned beef hash, and you drink 4 or 5 of those, and then you just go home and you just crash because you fished 35, 40 days in a row. You're exhausted. And those beers just put you right to sleep like a little baby.
I remember getting blown out and starting on the Bloody Marys and getting thrown, my best friend throwing me out of his bar. Banning me can get to leave his bar.
At 9 o'clock in the morning.
No, it's like I've been rolling.
You made it all day.
I've been professional. I made it till 1 o'clock in the morning or something, and then somehow being stuck on my back in the surf, like 5 o'clock in the morning, like a turtle, too drunk to get off the beach, just falling asleep on the beach.
Damn. See, I
would have loved the party.
Never been to that level. No. Is that when you had the big blonde?
No, that would have been post blonde.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Post hair.
Long hair.
You guys been catching anything?
No, that's what I was going to say. A little inshore report.
You're good. You always remember to give a report.
That's people want to see that.
You keep it on fishing.
This time of year is strange for here. Like
it's hard. It's hard. Same with offshore. You don't know if you're either going to get them or you might not. And you have no idea what's going to happen.
Very inconsistent. The weirdest thing about here this time of year is like the fishing seems to get really good, like all around us. You know what I mean? Like Currituck Sound, down the sound gets good, across the sound gets good, Virginia Beach, like everybody's inshore fishing just starts to fire off, and Oregon Inlet just for some reason just turns to crap.
Well, you've had them all summer, so
I know, but I mean, so have they. But
greener pastures.
So we end up driving a little farther. Yeah, Hyde County gets really good, and we still have our little moments of glory, but overall, this time of year, man, you get a couple cool nights like we got coming up tonight. Kiss of death.
And that's what it is.
You get some death.
Cool weather where the water gets down below 60. Mm-hmm. And man, it comes to, I remember, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago? We all follow each other around because one guy got one bite and then we all ate right on top of him.
Oh, God.
Somebody caught a stingray. And we just looking at your watch going, come on, man. It's 4 hours.
Now I'm just like, you know what, y'all just save your money. Just go back to bed.
You know what's interesting, too, is like you catch trout on the beach, right? Mm-hmm. And like 58, 55 even. I've caught them in the high 40s. But it's funny that you guys all summer long, you're catching them in the high 80s.
Yeah.
Down to the mid 70s is good. Once it gets under 70, that's when it kind of gets a little weird. But isn't that funny how those fish in the surf, for whatever reason, can tolerate colder temperatures? The water's saltier. I don't know what it is.
I have no idea.
More oxygen. I don't know.
Speculate. I have no idea.
I think it's just the bait. Figure mullet end up out there, and it's a little bit more. I think it's a little warmer out there than it is in the sound.
Yeah.
The temperature in the sound really fluctuates and kind of hovers in the same range out there. There's all the baits out there. I think all those fish that we're catching in the surf are coming out of the sound.
I hope so. I wish they'd hurry up.
You bring up a good point, and God, I hate being serious all the time, but I talked about fish and being able to adapt to certain temperatures. Mm-hmm. Fish, I don't feel like wide fluctuations.
Yeah. Exactly.
When we see that this time of year,
I mean, it kills the bite. We see that firsthand.
Yeah, when you have a shallow water basin like the sounds around here,
mm-hmm.
they can change really quick.
Yeah,
depending on daylight, temperature, whatever, man. And I don't think trout like that, or any kind of fish really likes that, because if you can catch the reds in 50-degree water during the wintertime, or Dave said he caught them last year in 48-degree water.
Yeah, trout
February,
too. Mm-hmm.
February, but they've adapted.
Yeah.
But if you get a rapid change, man, where it goes from 70 to 55 or something like that, it's just freaking done. Just hang it up, man.
Yeah, like we'll have tomorrow.
Yeah, like you're going to have tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're going to have a good trip.
Can't wait.
Never know.
I'll just take them out to the. I'm just gonna like load them up in my truck and go fish the beach.
Go to the Little Bridge. Little Bridge was loaded up when I came by.
God, it's loaded up today.
Yeah.
Little Bridge is
This time of year is like when we have the trips. They're like, all right, yeah, what are we gonna catch? I'm like, well, you might catch a trout and some drum. They're like, well, we caught like 150 trout on the pier yesterday.
Yeah.
You're like, what the hell are you doing here, man? Go back to the pier.
Yeah, like when they say, well, we've caught plenty on the Little Bridge this week. I'm like, damn, dude.
Yeah. Well, that's where we're
gonna
going.
go. We're
gonna go anchor up out there.
Go up and anchor up right outside the Little Bridge.
Yeah. But that's all right. We're all kind of ready to be done.
I think you and I are probably especially ready to be done.
Burnout phase.
It's good.
a little rest is good.
Yeah.
We've gone hard. It's been a good. I've had a great summer.
Yeah.
Great summer.
Mm-hmm.
Busy.
You did.
You fished like 30 trips this year.
What's that?
Did you fish like 30 trips this year?
No, man. A lot more than that. Caught some fish.
Yeah.
Good people. Yeah.
I referred a trip to you earlier. Somebody texted me and they wanted to go catch. There's 4 adults and they wanted to go catch tunas, mahis, and tuna, mahi, wahoos, and kingfish.
They're like, is he 900 like you?
And I texted him back. Thank you for your interest. Unfortunately, that's not the trip I do. Call this guy. I gave him your number.
They call you back.
I don't know if I've heard.
Probably not, because I think they probably went and looked and saw the price difference between you and I.
That happens a lot. Price scares people away sometimes. It's getting expensive.
Yeah. Keep going up. I want y'all to go up another 400 this
I think we should.
You should go up another 400.
I think we
Make
should
it even 3,000.
I think we should at least have a Memorial Day to Labor Day. You know what I mean? It's our peak season. That's when the houses are the most expensive. Everything here on the Outer Banks goes up except what we do. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily too much to ask.
Please go.
That's a good point.
Shit. To go 3,500. Why don't you?
I think in June you would get it.
You gotta bring everybody on board.
I mean, I had enough fishing this year that was worth that. I had fishing that was not worth the price of the 2,400 that it is now. But I had fishing that was
some days it wasn't worth $24.
Yeah, I had some days that were in my mind were priceless.
Priceless.
So had one of those just a couple days ago. Had a great day the other day.
I saw that.
Yeah.
There it is.
It was.
What the fuck were y'all thinking the other day going last Friday?
Oh my God.
Why would you do that?
Was that when it blew north super hard in the morning?
Yeah, 30 something. They're out there like the whole creek is in.
Were you the only one out there?
We got to the sea buoy, and actually Chris had texted me, and my dad was driving through Currituck, and they both texted me like, dude, it just came tight here, and we knew it was coming, but we were hoping we could get a little further off the beach. I was about the sea buoy, and it came tight about 40. I mean, it was gusting to 40.
And you said, well, we've already untied her. We might as well go.
We were going, and I had a split group with another boat, and he actually broke down, so he had to turn around, and I was really jealous. And and
that was your sign right there.
Yeah, and actually, so the group that I was with, I stopped, and I went down, and I said, hey guys, I sent my mate down, and he said, hey guys, are y'all it's blowing 40. We're 6 miles off the beach. We can turn around right now, and we won't charge you, and you'll get all your money back or whatever, or we can reschedule. And they said, let's go. And 2 of them had a great time. The other 2
just troll like south the whole entire time and then come in.
No, I didn't. We got out there and it was fishable, and we had a good day. We had good fishing.
Yeah, the wind it backed off.
Yeah, I mean it was rough. It was rough all day long.
Yeah,
the ride because we had to go north because that's where the fish had been. So we had to get up the road a little bit. But we did it. We had a good day. We caught tunas and wahoos.
Nice.
Was it one of those days running into where stuff was rattling, like you were running, and your riggers were gonna pop off?
Yeah, I mean a couple times she came up on the side and my propeller got air under it.
Oh my god!
I don't like that.
I would have been throwing up.
It was it was 18. The last 18 miles was throttle watch.
If I had been your mate, I would have come upstairs and said, Jack, I gotta take the wheel. You have to go downstairs because I'm gonna throw up everywhere.
If you're downstairs,
yeah.
I can't believe he didn't when he got into the bathroom and saw what had been done in the bathroom. It was the one day that
there's some sick ones on there.
The one day that I forgot to say, when I give my speech every morning, it's do not throw up in the head. Do not go downstairs if you feel sick. Get outside, get a bucket, And there was the one day I didn't do it, and I paid the price when we got in. And I had to clean it up. Yeah, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't as bad. I mean, when my mate came up, like he looked white as a ghost, and he was like, the head is destroyed, and it wasn't as bad as I was expecting. I mean, you hear stories of the sink getting filled up, and the head, both ends, and just crap everywhere.
I worked with them. Jackass on the Flying Fisherman way back in the day, and that head, we had to take the head apart, take it off at the end of the day because somebody was sick and it just clogged it all up. But everything up and down.
No.
Yeah.
It's just disgusting.
Yeah, it's nasty.
And
I had a little head on my first boat. It was like one of those RV style ones with like the blue liquid in the bottom of it. And I had a girl, poor thing, man. She got so seasick. She was done throwing up. So I guess after that, you start getting sick from the other end. So she went in there and just blew it up so bad that my whole boat stunk for the rest of the day. I had like an afternoon trip. It still smelled like shit. And so I like got to the boat ramp and went to CVS and bought some gloves like this and took the whole fucking thing out and threw it in the dumpster at Pirates Cove. And I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this.
You don't care. Like it's a commercial rig.
I don't need this on here to book trips.
Well, this is a good time to segue into a sponsor. I'm sure that
Porta John is our sponsor. The free weekly rental.
Let's go to TW's. Be right back. Yeah, Donnie D from DOA and Misguided Fishing. Check it out. TW's got everything you need to catch all the fishes. The rods, the reels, string, baits, from all the guys that make that stuff. Shimano, Daiwa, Penn, St. Croix, Yoseria, Meat Hog, etc., etc., etc. You want to look fly when you're doing all that catching? They got you covered with gear from Salty Crew, Pelagic, Extra Tough, and more. You got questions? Ask away. TW's is staffed by people who fish every chance they get. They got their finger on the pulse of Outer Banks fishing. I haven't even scratched the surface of this place. It's like a toy store for grown-ups. So check out TW's Bait and Tackle in Nags Head, the Outer Banks' largest tackle shop. Milepost 10. Back from the sponsors. Thanks, TW's. You guys are
thanks,
saving
Chris,
our ass.
Travis, the crew. Yeah, we got another rod to give away today.
Another rod to give away. You want to go ahead and give it away?
Shipping's not included in this giveaway, though.
You want to give it away now? Because we'll probably forget.
It's another question about me, right?
It's all about you, baby.
It's always about
you.
Yep.
You're the only one that has anything cool to.
Yeah, the question is, what's the biggest trout I've ever caught on the beach?
On the beach.
On the beach, but it's the biggest trout I've ever caught. So I don't know that I haven't caught many trout in the Sound. Not many.
All right.
That's a hard one to
Do you
break.
know the answer?
Biggest trout I've ever caught. Yep, to the nearest tenth of an ounce.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's say to the nearest tenth of an ounce.
Okay. Isn't that the way they're measured?
What's that?
That's the way they're measured, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Let's go weight, because I did weigh it. I was and I measured it too.
All right.
It's a good one. It's good timing for that
we don't
category.
Beat it to the ground. We know what it is.
Yep, biggest trout I've ever caught.
Biggest trout by weight that Jack has ever caught.
Yep.
Same deal.
It's not that big.
Wherever
so
you want.
don't go thinking I'm some trout hero. I'm not.
Wherever you want to put it, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you want to.
What's the rod? Is it a trout rod?
Yeah, it is. That guy's account's private, so I can't show you what it is. The guy that won it last week. We actually shipped it right out too.
Nice.
We're professionals.
What kind of rod is it? I mean, tell us a little bit about
a little Fenwick.
Okay, cool.
The guy with the Z-Mans is pissed right now.
The guy that splits down charters really wants his Z-Man. He's mocking us. He's mocking us now.
What's going? Oh, you guys shipped a rod out, and I still haven't gotten my bag of grubs.
Oh man, we gotta send him a little extra.
We gotta call Bud and say, Bud, can we get some more stuff?
Yeah, I know. I burned through them Z-Mans the next day. That's awesome.
All right, so you know the giveaway. Let's keep rolling, man. Jack, what's your fishing gonna be like coming up here in the fall for people that have never done it? I mean, summertime fishing, you get people that just want to go fishing.
Yeah.
And I think it started out last week with the people that showed up with a rider truck to load their catch in.
Is that for you?
Well, that was, in their defense, that was a group from Kellogg Supply. And they booked like 11 or 12 different boats. And what they did was they brought a big truck, and everybody that went, they they split the fish up evenly between all the boats. So if one boat didn't catch as much as the other boat, they all still shared up the same, which I thought was actually pretty cool. But yes, we will have especially early summer, man, you drive down and like these are I do not. One of the reasons I don't put dock pictures on my Instagram page, if TWs will post them and they can post them other places because I do like to, it does help sell trips. But most of it's individual because you see these guys in the summertime and they're backed up to certain boats and they have vats. The big blue vats, the commercial fishing vats in the back. I've seen guys with freezer trucks.
If guys
so they don't get them clean, they bring them all home whole.
Well, it's a lot of times it's just to pack the fillets.
Yeah.
But
how about that for pressure, man?
Yeah, I know, and I just like I heard a story this year about a guy that fished 3 days on the boat up here, and they caught two boxfuls of tuna and a box full of mahi. I'm talking 60 gaffers. Gaffers, man.
Yeah.
And he had an inshore trip down in Hatteras the next day after his 3 days of fishing. He had the big blue vat and he was all bragging about his fish to the guy because he pulled up behind the inshore boat like y'all's and the guy was joking with him. He was like, "I'll know if you're at the right boat,"
Yeah.
And, anyway, he said, "No, don't worry about it. She's full of tuna and mahi already." Well, he went and looked at it. He said, "Come check this out." It was all fillets. He'd had it all cleaned.
Yeah.
And there had been a miscommunication on who was supposed to put the ice on that fish. And he said flies just came pouring out of that thing. And
all waste.
3 days of fishing. So let's see, 2,600 is 72, 80, 8,800 plus tip for the mate. That's a $10,000
plus fish cleaning.
3 days. Yeah, $11,000 3 days maybe. And every bit of that fish was ruined. And not only that, like it's sad about the fish. You know what I mean? Like what a waste.
That's horrible, man.
So then he really put the pressure on the inshore guide.
So he went home with like 10 pounds of bluefish.
Actually, my buddy said when they caught their first red of the day, and he went to throw it in the cooler, and he said, "No, you got to throw that back." He said, "After what I just saw, no, it was a keeper." Yeah. He said, but after what I just saw, you're not allowed to keep anything today. I'm going to teach you a lesson.
Oh, that hurts, man. What are you going to do with that much tuna, dude? Let's all face it.
Yeah,
tuna's good for. Is there a way that you feel like you can preserve it and it's good for like a little bit longer?
I hate to because we are, myself especially, I'm a fish snob. I do not like tuna. I think it's great chum for dolphin. I don't like it. I like it in tuna salad because it's full of mayonnaise and eggs. I like it in sushi because it's full of rice and cream cheese and jalapenos and soy sauce and wasabi.
Yeah.
Which all of those things would be good without the presence of said tuna.
You're talking about not eating tuna, but you're wearing a hot dog hat.
Love hot dogs. I'm not talking about the nutritional value of it. I'm talking about the taste.
So a little tip for your people that catch a whole box full of tuna. What's the best way to, extend the life? Would you say
that question? But he didn't answer.
I'm carrying it on.
Yeah,
because now we're talking about hot dogs. I have to get back to the subject here.
I always tell people
freeze them, smoke them,
trim it well, trim that bloodline out. If you're gonna freeze it, good quality vacuum packing is the best. Good quality vacuum packing. And man, canning. I have a lot.
I've heard that.
Come and they can it, and
I want to try that.
I'll actually eat canned tuna. Make a quick tuna salad or throw it on a salad or something like that.
Tuna.
Some of my charters.
It's easy.
Some of them will come and they bring their vacuum sealer and their canning stuff, and they'll fish for 2 days and they'll can half and they'll vacuum pack half. Man, the other thing is that we got to remember is that we live on the coast and we get fresh fish all the time.
I was going to say that.
People that are from out of town, they'll eat on it year round.
Yeah,
and it's to them, and rightfully so. It's better than what they're getting.
Yeah.
From the grocery store, you know what I mean, or from anywhere that they have access to.
Yeah, thawed out.
I do talk bad about it. I don't know about the keeping of a blackfin. The blackfin tunas definitely don't keep. But a yellowfin, not necessarily what I'm into, but I think very well vacuum packed. You trim up that outside that gets a little freezer burn.
Yeah,
and you'll probably be all right. But I always, man, you cannot spend the money and get a good vacuum sealer.
Yeah,
it's just worth it. You know,
especially especially that much meat.
You're going, you're spending $2,600 on a trip. You're tipping the mate. You're paying $400 or $500 for fish cleaning if you catch 600-800 pounds of tuna.
Right.
What's another $400 to buy a good vacuum packer if you're going to do it yourself, or call the folks over at Fresh Catch or some of our local, purveyors here.
Plug.
Yeah, they're great. They don't do it. They weren't doing it as much this year because they were understaffed. But I mean, they have the high dollar $10,000 vacuum packing machine that the big chamber one that packs it up really well. And a dolphin will keep better. A dolphin does. Bottom fish freezes really well. Mm-hmm. I'll eat a piece of tile a year later, no problem, and it's still tasty.
Hell yeah.
Tuna not so much, but anyway, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a good problem to have when you have too much.
I don't know. I don't get that.
Yeah. And the other thing is
too much trout.
I've got one piece of tuna.
Yeah, there were 2 pieces in there in that bag.
You got tuna one time. He's going to bring you some deer.
Did you cap
that? No.
Which one?
I ain't going to touch that one. Those small ones dart around. They're hard to gaff.
Mm-hmm.
Just sling them.
They're a little bit too big to sling, a little too small to gaff.
What do they call that? Like a slapper?
That's a turbo pup.
Oh, okay.
That's what we've been catching mostly lately. Some turbo pups. There's a pup.
I love that.
There's a BLT, barely legal.
Mm-hmm.
There's a pup, slightly bigger than a BLT, and then there's a turbo pup.
Well, what's the difference?
And then you have 25 pounders, and then you have 35 pounders, then you have buffs, and then you have the city boys.
Buff is like 50 and 60s.
Buff's 50 and 60, 60 and 70 would be a city boy.
Damn.
And then you've got big eyes. And they're either eyelets or they're big eyes. An eyelet is a small big eye.
Mm.
Then you got bailers, you got baffers, and you got gaffers. You got flip-flops and vinegar dippers.
We got vinegar dippers, in short.
They're all the same fish.
Yeah. All the same fish. Yeah.
We could say that's a really small mahi.
We just say they're tiny 6-inch trout.
Yeah.
Or they're keepers.
Yeah.
That's all we got. Oh, man. I'm ready to be in the woods.
Me too. Next week,
both
baby.
Of you guys going hunting?
I'm going hunting. I think I'm going to hunt tomorrow morning.
Neither one of you ever bring me any meat.
I never shoot anything.
Yeah.
Why are you going then?
I'm just because I like to watch them. And if I see a big buck, I'll shoot it. But I don't know. I'm lazy now.
You don't want to drag them out?
I don't. You got to drag them, and then you got to gut them, and then you got to clean them. And where I hunt, we used to have this great processor right down the street, and you could take her. She was an Inuit lady, awesome, badass chick. She had sled dogs and stuff.
Damn, that's cool.
But you could just take her. You'd shoot the deer, and you drive it over.
Take the whole deer.
She'd skin it.
Yeah, that's worth it.
Do the whole thing, And she'd make jerky, sausage, all that stuff.
What happened?
And she went back to Alaska.
Mm.
So she's back in Alaska now, and she's gone. And there's other processors in the area, but they're like 2 hours away from where we hunt. And I'm like, man, now I got to drive 2 hours. Like I'd rather. I mean, I look at the deer and I'm like, man, that would be really tasty, but I just don't know that I want to go through all these motions.
Yeah, they used to do it at Weeping Radish. They did burger and sausage, and they quit doing it there. So now it's like,
it's a big commitment.
Yeah. But
killing that
it's
animal.
worth it.
And that doe, you never know if there's a big buck behind her, especially the time you go hunt the rut. Then you got a doe coming in, and do you really want to shoot her? Because something might be sniffing on her.
It's time, dude, when you start seeing all these pictures of like deer swimming through Avalon Pier and across the sound. I saw one in Hatteras, like a buck swimming across the inlet or something.
Picture,
I love it when I'm heading to the mountains and you start seeing dead ones on the side of the road.
Yeah.
When that time of year when there's dead ones everywhere, that
it's time.
They're starting to change. Not even a moving car is stopping their pursuit of females. It's exciting.
I understand.
Well,
so it's activity season.
Yes.
They're drum fishing on
Play
the pier right
season.
now.
Yep.
Yeah, this is our time.
Lots of drum fishing going on the pier. And today, are you going to the pier today?
No, I heard it was not
quite
not
rough
that good.
enough.
Yeah, it's just we had a really good early run, and now it just hasn't really gotten crazy,
Yeah.
And they got to be really thick.
It's coming. They're not. I don't think the big mega pushes.
Maybe not, but I mean, and they got to be thick for me to catch one.
Yeah.
So I usually only go when they're really thick.
Short cast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I got the triple brakes in my reel so I don't backlash it and everything like that. I really want to get one of those cannons, the CO2.
No.
Just show up out there, just boom.
No, God, wouldn't that piss
That
those
would
guys
rip.
off?
With a spinning reel on it.
Spinning reel?
Oh yeah.
They make these bait
We
cannons.
should do that.
And it's a PVC pipe, CO2 powered, and you freeze your bait into an ice cylinder of ice, and then you stick it down the tube.
You ever made like potato launchers when you were a kid?
Yeah,
Same
it's a potato
concept.
launcher, and that thing will send your bait.
Are you
a
guys
mile.
not allowed to use spinning rods on the pier? That's
Well,
frowned upon.
Not really. It's the
Like,
purist throws
like
an open
it's
face.
kind of like boogie boarding. The easiest way for me to.
Well said, David. Well said.
Nobody really says anything, but you might get burned.
I'm just kidding.
All right, I'm done with y'all.
All right.
Dave's not drinking.
He's back.
Dave's not drinking. It's not that much fun.
Well, yeah,
that
and
is so
Donnie,
funny.
Donnie's activities of saving lives and protecting the people of Dare County. That's about to get a little more busy for the
No.
fall, right?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you took some
done.
time off in the summer
No.
to fish.
Oh,
and
I
then
do,
you-
but it's not the actual job's not going to get busier. I've been back at work since June.
Oh, okay. You have. Don't say it.
You do know
Don't
that.
say it.
You do.
You've been back at work. You wanted to say since, and I know what you were going to say, and you can't say it.
Yeah, so one of the species we can't talk about. The other one's over here. We can't talk about that one.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And the other one's not coming back, so we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
We do have an exciting guest coming in a couple weeks from Hyde County, and
We
he's
do.
going to tell us about some of that
We
fishing,
are,
which I'm
that's what I
interested
told
in.
Dave, man, we are so big, people call us now to be on the show.
Yeah. And Dave, I think you've done some fishing over there, right?
Yeah.
I haven't done much, but gosh,
It's
he
pretty
sent me-
incredible.
He sent me some pictures last night of like a 7-pounder on top water.
Yeah.
Really looked like a lot of fun. Somewhere I'd like to get dialed in. Maybe he'll take me, and then I could.
Yeah. Looking
his
forward to
spots.
hearing about that. They got a hell of a trout fisher over there, man. It's wild, and the colder it gets, the better it gets. So it'd be cool to hear about.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll have him on in a couple of weeks, as long as everybody's schedules match up. We already scheduled.
We don't have any excuses now.
No,
I mean,
he does. I told him last night. This is the day he's coming. I don't know. I might not be here. That's what he told me.
Yeah.
well, yeah, it might be in the woods.
You know what? We don't need your fucking ass.
It just depends on the weather, man. I'm hunting the weather this year. Baby's on the way. I got to stay close to home. I
you're
got
not
to be.
gonna make any shows after that.
I got to be strategic about it.
Yeah.
Wait till you say I got to go to shoot a podcast with the guys, babe. Your wife and she.
She'll be all right.
Y'all can come to my house.
You have to leave like every 2 minutes. Jack, the baby shit again.
All right, man. Subscribe, follow us.
YouTube.
Apple Podcast.
Apple Podcast.
Yeah.
Dave, Thought Minded. Jack, Aficionado. Donnie D, DOA.
Peace out.
See ya.
Yeah.
Red button. You press it.
Oh man.